and welcome back to GeoGuessr, but in The Sims 3. Here we have the map from last episode, and as always I put in the worlds that we looked at. With the Los Angeles inspired worlds, they are a bit bulked up in this area. It looks a bit weird, but I didn't know how to do it otherwise. So this is how it's going to look for now. Maybe I will have a better idea how to do it, but I really can't think of any, so it will probably stay like that. And for the worlds we're going to look at in this episode, we're going to start with Willow Creek by Boring Bones. And as you can imagine by the name of the world, it is Willow Creek from The Sims 4, but made in The Sims 3. I never really played The Sims 4, so I'm not really sure how accurate it is. I think I've seen this kind of area in some Let's Plays I watched, but not like this house I've seen, because it is supposed to be pretty ugly in The Sims 4, and it doesn't have a lot of windows. It does just have this wall covering that's supposed to look like windows, and all of the houses are empty, and this world is not populated. So if you would want to play in it, you probably have to do a lot of work. Especially because this world has around 138 lots, so it's quite a lot. It's not too detailed, so I think it would run occasionally on normal PCs, but you would have to test it out. The houses look okay, probably because they are inspired by The Sims 4. They look a bit weird sometimes. I like this area because there is this little card. I'm unsure what happened here. This is probably some mishap. I don't think I had to download any CC with the world, but it seems to miss some things. But as this is probably a lot, yeah, you could change this weird colored street design to something else because it looks so unrealistic. I don't know, I'm just going to see. Yeah, so you just would need to find the right flooring to change it out. I think it's this. Yeah, you just have to recolor it. But for the ones with the trails on it, I don't know where to find that. This is probably the Goth Mansion from the look of it. I think EA just did a redo for some of the houses in Willow Creek, so the new version probably is very different to what this looks. There is a cute houseboat here. This actually looks pretty cool, and especially the roadwork and these canals look very great. So this was very nicely done by Boring Bones. Also, the terraforming is very great. Some of the houses are placed a bit weird, but that's probably also because EA placed them weird. So I do not think that this is actually Boring Bones' fault, but this house is just here in the middle of nowhere and does not have contact to any street. So if I would play in this world, I probably would just delete this row. But it looks very cool. And if you do not want to play The Sims 4, you can still get the experience in The Sims 3. Ooh, yeah, I really like how the roads are placed. This is very much work to do them this good. It's really great. So for placing the world on the map, I googled a little bit, and Willow Creek seems to be inspired by New Orleans. So I'm going to get into there and look at some areas. Okay, this seems to be... What is this? Is this a club? I'm confused. So maybe I need to go there with my little street view guy. Okay, the houses look similar-ish. With all of the balconies and terraces in Willow Creek, it makes sense to me that it is New Orleans. And I'm really not sure if there are a lot of other worlds in The Sims 3 that are inspired by that area. So to make it short, I probably will go with the coordinates of New Orleans for Willow Creek by Boring Bones. I want to get a little bit more on the outskirts of the city. Just looks like typical USA suburbs to me. But yeah, it's pretty much giving Sims 3. So these houses look very similar to what we see in Willow Creek. Probably just look similar to any Sims 3 world because this is just the typical architecture of the US here. Very simple and small houses with not a lot of decorations. Like maybe more this area. Okay, those houses are a bit bigger, but I think it is similar. There are still a few places you could build your own houses, but I think I'm okay with the coordinates. So I'm going to just copy them inside and go for Louisiana. Yes, I already have Louisiana, so there is probably one or two worlds also in Louisiana, but we will get to that later. For now, the next world we're going to look at is Fairhaven City. So here we have Fairhaven City, and as it says in the name, it is a city type world with a big area of a lot of skyscrapers and high-rise buildings, and it even has this cool Chinatown area I put my Sims in. Like this full block of houses is just consisting of this small apartment here in the middle, but I think this is so creative. Like there are these little pathways through the houses, and then you get to this door where you then go up into the small apartment, and there are these lampions all between the houses, and it just looks like a real Chinatown. So very cool. I've never seen that in any other world, so this is really impressive to me. Also, these high-rises are completely different to the EA one. I'm not sure if the creator of the world made them themselves or they're available SCC. I think I've already seen them in other worlds, especially because they are so low res. So if you get really close to them, you see that they look a bit unrealistic, but still I really like the look of some different skyscrapers in the city. A lot of them are just for making the city look a bit more dense, so they're not completely furnished. They're just standing around, not even on an actual lot. They're just standing in the world. This world has around 100 lots as I counted. Ooh, okay, it does even have these train tracks here go through the city. That's very cool. And oh, one thing this world has, I'm unsure, I think it has to be here. Yes, here it is. It does have a zoo, which is so cool. Like, obviously, these animals do not move even if I do click on play, because they're just sculptures of animals. But still, having a zoo in The Sims 3 is pretty cool. It does have the roller coaster from, I think, the... Is it from Roaring Heights, or is this just another store pack? I'm unsure. The game told me that I'm missing some CC for the world, but I'm not really sure, because normally I should have installed everything. Ooh, okay, they even put this logo here. I do have no idea how that works. It's probably just some CC they especially made for that world. Very impressive. Then here we have some whales, or I don't know. I guess that are whales. But really cool having a zoo in the middle of the city. Then there is this really big roundabout with the stadium in the middle. Then here we have some more residential houses, and this is an insanely big university campus in the world, which is also really cool. So if you want to send your Sims into a city type university, you just could use this world and pretend that they moved away to Fairhaven City to go to university. So this is probably what I am going to do with this city. And by the way, this city is also completely populated, so you do not have to do anything. Here we have probably a train station. Also very nice and realistic, having a train station in the world. Is there something else? No, it's just... Ooh, even some buses. It's probably CC. Very cool. So yeah, I'm really excited to explore the city at some point if I use this in my save file. And here is a big dam, and here we have a enormous waterfall. I'm just going to click on play to show you how it looks. Really impressive and very nicely done. Like, this took probably a lot of time, so very cool. I do not know how good this world would run, but I'm going to test it out for myself. But as they used a lot of these fake buildings and didn't even put them on lots, they just put them into the landscape, this really helps with performance. Like, these broken down homes are also just to make it look a bit more run down, but they're not on actual lots. Ooh, okay, here's a graveyard with a church. I think they even made it look like the... Okay, this obviously it's just going into the mountain, but at least they put in the effort to make it look like the railway is connected to the one in the city. What it... Oh, okay, this seems to be a theater. Very cool. Oh, and I... Whoa, okay. This is very nice. It only has this one row of seats, so that's a bit confusing to me, but maybe I'm actually missing some of DCC. I'm really not sure if I go down. No. Okay, it only has this row of seats, but still looking really cool. And then here's the salon and this... Okay, I just want to see how it works with the fake skyscrapers. If I go down... Oh, and then is here the salon at the corner of the building. Very cool. A lot of plans for a hairdresser. And then here in the back is some like industrial part. Also looking very realistic. Ah, here's the military station, and there's even this boat here out in the back. You can't really use it for anything, I think. It's just, again, decoration. Oh, there's even a houseboat. And also this bridge, I think, is a CC. I didn't actually know that you can make your own CC bridges. I looked for some of them at some point when I was planning my own world. But it's good to know that this exists, but I'm not sure if they actually do work like normal, like EA bridges, but really cool. There is, I think, a longer version of that bridge. Yeah, it's just a really cool world. And there are not a lot of city type worlds that look realistic in The Sims 3 because obviously cities are a lot bigger and you can't really make that extensive worlds in The Sims 3 without major lag. So this is a good in-between and I think it looks very realistic even though it is kind of small. For placing the world, I will just look for the Hoover Dam because that dam, okay, but the Hoover Dam is a bit more circular, but from the landscaping it looks kind of similar to what we were seeing here, and I do not actually know. Oh, okay, it's close to Las Vegas. I don't know, this zoo is also quite special, and also for the university. I also wanted to do some kind of university system in my game at some point. I do not really know how I want to do that, but like making or choosing worlds that are more like the prestigious universities in the US, like Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and that, and obviously then also some more normal universities, and then depending on how the grades of the Sims were in their high school years, they can go either to prestigious universities, and if they didn't have that good grades, they can go to the normal universities. But like I really have to think how I want to do that. But for that city, I think I want to put in a more prestigious university, but I think I will have to look at a list. Ivy League universities. Okay, so it's Brown, Columbia, Cornell, Dartmouth, Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, okay, Princeton, Yale. Like, I only know some of that universities because I watched Gossip Girl, and for I think the first 2 seasons they were talking so much about these universities. And is there a map where I see where they are? Okay, as it seems most of them are in New England. But because this world, I don't know, it's giving a bit more southern looks. Like here, this area is very brown and kind of deserty. Even though I think I haven't seen any palm trees. Maybe let's look at the coastal area. No, I do not see any, but still for New England, this is a bit too brown for me. Like New England is more very like green and woodsy. Huh. Was there any other university? I think... Okay, let's look for... in California. Stanford, yeah, like Stanford. That was one thing that was in my mind. I just started rewatching Supernatural, and Sam was going to Stanford, or at least he was about to go to Stanford. I looked at some pictures of Stanford, and obviously this does not look like Stanford at all. These buildings look more like, I think, Oxford or something, like more of a British university. So not very American, at least I think so, maybe. Yeah, Harvard also looks a little bit different. Let's see, Oxford, I think. Oh, okay, but it's still not this grayish, even though I think this is kind of what is inspiring these Sims 3 universities. So maybe we go to Stanford. I think Stanford, as I looked it up, it is in San Francisco. And we do not have a world yet that is in San Francisco. So it would fit in pretty well, but I'm unsure if San Francisco is this like city-like. So let's... Oh, okay. Like this is kind of a giveaway because the first picture that shows up is Chinatown. And as I showed you in the beginning, this world does also have a Chinatown. Obviously, San Francisco has more of those sloped row houses, which this world does not have. But it does have quite a few high-rises. And I think... Ooh, okay, the bridge looks also kind of similar. I want to look at it from above. Like, yeah. Let's see, San Francisco Zoo. Is there a zoo? Okay, it does have... Oh, it like probably every big city, it does have a zoo. And then I think... I just saw that Berkeley is also... I think Berkeley is also a university, isn't it? University, yes. But where is Stanford? Oh, it's more like down here. And it has this typical Californian style of architecture. So very different to what we see in The Sims 3. But still, I think I will just go with San Francisco for Fairhaven City. Because I kind of like it. I think it is a good fit, and I do not have a San Francisco inspired world yet. So this is like kind of a lucky guess. And from all the trees and landscaping, I think California is again a good area for that world. So yeah, I'm happy with that guess. And so this university is going to be Stanford. I still have to put in a note for that, so I'm going to put it here probably and hope I do not forget that for my university system later, but this probably will take a while. But the next world we're going to look at is Juniper. Okay, here we have Juniper. And as you can see, this is quite a small world. It has around 18 lots, a few residentials, and here in the middle are mostly the community lots. I put my family in this lot, which seems to be half like residential and the other half is kind of a community lot. I'm unsure, this looks like a bar. But the place my sim lives in is here. It is quite cute, so I like the architecture of the houses here. I'm unsure where I would pinpoint it. It's very modern, mostly brick houses, also mostly flat roofs. A few different like green slanted roofs, but mostly the roofs are all flat. Then here these completely one-story flat roof houses, also very cute. Then here a nice house with a pool and also access to the beach, quite luxurious. And also very well done. There is this little fishing spot here in the back of the island. And also this is, I think, a beach. Yeah, with this little house here. Okay, there's not even a toilet here. So I do have the... I don't know how the mod is called, but your Sims can just go pee onto the grass, which is probably helpful if you have community lots without toilets. But yeah, I really like this world. For a small legacy, this would be perfect. Unfortunately, there is no empty lot as it seems, so you would need to delete a lot so you could build your own house. And for putting down the world on the map, I really do not want to go into New England again, but I probably will have to go there because the architecture is just so different. Okay, they do have brick houses here, but I'm searching for mostly flat roof houses, so maybe I will also try some places more here in the center of the US. Paint Lick, interesting name. Okay, no, it's actually a town, okay. But the roofs are mostly flat, at least in this little town. So, okay, here we have no pictures, but maybe in Lancaster. Okay, here again we have... Okay, sometimes there are so crazy pictures on Google Maps because anybody can just upload what they want. Ooh, a peacock. Again, more brick homes. Like, it's not that far off from what I'm searching. So maybe I can find it in this area. Okay, no, this is again too far off from what I'm looking at. Like these brick houses. Okay, there seems to be a car convention in that town. Not so helpful. Ireland. No pictures there. This is again a bit more city-like. So really far off from what Juniper looks like. We were here like in this area. Maybe let's go into the greener part of Kansas. Like there are brick houses, but most of them are very intricate and detailed and not have this like really sleek modern look we see in Juniper. This will be a long search again. Okay, no bricks. Especially for these smaller worlds in Sims 3, it's really hard to find a counterpart. Maybe this, like, there are some more of those flat roof brick houses. And where is this? It's near Kansas City. And we do not have a lot of worlds in that area, like none. So at least this would fill the void kinda. The houses are not too similar, but at least a few of them looked kind of like what we've seen in Juniper. Maybe the outskirts of St. Charles, but those houses are again a bit too intricate again and not that modern. Let's go like here on the top of Arkansas. Ooh, that's a crazy house. Fayetteville. Oh my god, such a cute dog. Oh, I just love dogs. Okay, it's a bit swampy in that area as it seems, but there are a lot of brick houses. What is going on here? Okay. Can't really read the sign, but is this a beer glass or is this supposed to be something else? I don't know. So maybe I just will go for Fayetteville. I really do not want to spend so much time, especially on such a small world, for the counterpart, because I will just not find anything that similar. So what was it? It was Arkansas, isn't it? Yeah, Arkansas. I haven't even had a tag with Arkansas, so there is no other world in Arkansas yet. But yeah, that's it with Juniper, and the next world we're going to look at is Boroughsburg. And here we are in Boroughsburg, probably the greatest Sims 3 world that exists, just because of how much they kind of bended the rules of what Sims 3 worlds could do. As you can see, there is a ton of background distant terrain that looks like a real city. Like here it's just kind of these flat pictures that look like a city in the back, but around there are so many fake buildings that this world really looks like a city. Obviously it is inspired by New York City, and this is probably Brooklyn. I'm not that sure, but I'd guess that it's at least not Manhattan. And it's just so insane. Also, I want to show you, I think, oops, if you look onto that bridge, the cars actually move. Yeah, the cars actually move. I do absolutely not know how this is possible. Obviously, if you look at them, they just consist of these flat pictures that were layered onto each other, so they kind of look like cars, but still, this is crazy when you look at it from above. It's just so crazy. So impressive. When I first saw this world, I really couldn't imagine how this worked. Also, obviously, now that I saw Gruesome's worlds, I kind of found out how they did all these things with the streets, because before I was so confused how they were able to do those curbs and all the decorations here on the streets. This looks just so realistic, and it takes a lot work. And I think there were not only one person working on this world, but actually a few. Oh, there's even a zeppelin in the air up here. Very cool. So yeah, this is just an amazing world that took a ton of work. And it has around 72 lots, so it should work kind of well. Right now it's taking 2.7 gigabytes RAM on my PC, so it's kind of right at the threshold of crashing, to be honest. But sometimes my PC is just a little sensitive with these kinds of big worlds, so as soon as all the roles will be distributed, it should be a bit more smoother. And also this world is not populated, so yeah, I really have to test out if this will work how I want it to, but obviously I will use this world at some point. I want to show you the place my Sims were moved in, and to be honest, I don't know what's happening here. Obviously there are, like, this is not a shell like the other high-rises from EA. This is a build with all of those windows. They do, I think, automatically light up at night, so the buildings look a lot more dynamic. But if I go onto the ground floor, they do obstruct my view a little bit, a lot, I don't know. Here is a kind of a laundromat for the people that live in the apartment, and they did use all of these air vents in the buildings. Ooh, okay, it's just about to crash. I don't know if I can show you a lot more from this close, but here is a little, I don't know, truck place. I don't know, it seems to be like buzzberry and wonder petals growing here, and there is like a chemist station, so could be where people make drugs. And then there is actually the, ooh, okay, crazy, this is the apartment where I put my Sims, and as you can see there are 4 beds, and then there's also this main bedroom. Okay, interesting. but cutely decorated. And then you have here these few blocks. First I wanted to show you because you can see that there is a university here, but there is not actually, I think, a campus. This is the metro station in this world. And if you go down, you see this very realistic subway station with these entrances here where you show your tickets and some machines to buy tickets. Okay, you can buy candy and everything because there are obviously no tickets. There are some phone booths here, but you can't use them. And obviously some trash cans. And if you go down another level, you see there is the subway line. And what you cannot see that well are these rugs. Okay, this does not work as I expected it, but those rugs are, yeah, like you see, they are the rabbit hole rugs. And so when your sim goes onto them, they vanish, and it kind of looks like as they are just using the subway to go into the city and then obviously go to college in the city, but they just vanish like normal rabbit holes. So that's just how it works. So I'm unsure if I actually want to use this world as a university world, because in reality there is actually no university. They can visit university in this world, but you do not have like the university life experience as in other worlds where there's an actual university campus. And I'm just going to show you a few more places, and in the hopes my game doesn't crash, because it kind of looks like it will very soon. Obviously this world does use a lot of CC, and as the lots are quite close to each other, the game, so I just changed a little bit of my graphics options to kind of prevent it crashing, because the lots are very close to each other, so the game has to load up a lot of stuff. Because of that, there are these back alleys. I always like this in city worlds because this is very realistic. There are some parking spaces here in the back of these houses, and the trash cans, and then here are the fire escapes, which is also very realistic for New York City. They also do have this roof garden, but this seems to be a more legit garden instead of the one we looked at in the apartment building where I put my sim. And there are a lot of these fire escapes. I think this is just one CC item with those 3 levels of fire escapes. And this is a no, okay, here we have a building that is a community lot, and I kind of have to look into it how to get rid of the windows clipping into your view, because this is kind of annoying. But also for this great of a world, I think I could look over this little fact. It will take a little minute until all of the textures load in. Okay, it loaded up, and as it seems, this is a kind of department store selling clothes. Very cute. I love when there are a lot of options where I can send my sim to. This seems to be like a hairdresser or maybe just a makeup studio. There are some places where the designer pedestals are that you need for the design and architecture career. Then here is the styling station, and there are some lockers for the workers, a little area for their break, and obviously a place where your sims can get tattoos. And as it seems, I'm not sure what this building is. Is this a university dorm, or is this the university library? It looks more like a library, but the sign... Oh yeah, Boroughsburg Public Library, but this is probably the university library. because of this sign. There is the school, and they also have kind of... Okay, this is not a library. I don't know why this sign was used, but yeah, a school. Very cute. Obviously, you will also need some store items for this world. As you just saw, there is the basketball hoops. But these buildings, it's just insane. They look so realistic, and it is so insane how this world was done. All of these electricity poles and the lines, the traffic signs and traffic lights and cars parking here on the side of the road. It's just insane. It's crazy how this world was done. Like, see, there's even some smoke coming out of the street holes. Like, crazy. Just crazy. And when you look around, you can in the back always see city, so this doesn't look like it's just a small part, but it looks like it is in a intensely big city. Like you can see on the other side of the river, even more buildings. Like, so cool. But there are a lot of showcasings of the worlds on YouTube, so if you want to have a more intricate look into the world, you can watch another video of that. I would absolutely recommend it, because obviously I'm not going too much into how the worlds look. I just want to get a general look on them and then show you where I would place them on the map. What is this? Interesting. I just don't know how I feel about those air vents. Obviously they make it a lot more realistic, but they obstruct the views as well, so it's sometimes a bit chaotic to look at all of those places. But I'm always a fan of realistic places. Oh, okay, this is the hostel, like base camp. When you go visit this place with your family, you can stay here. Also very cool. And obviously, for placing this world on the map, it is New York City. I just want to look at... I do not have any idea where Brooklyn is. I know that the... Oops, I did write it wrong. I do know that this is Manhattan. And Brooklyn is this part. And there is the bridge that goes through here. Just... Oops. Want to see if this is kind of... So this is how it looks like. And yeah, I think this is a good match. I probably would put it more like in near that bridge. And if you have seen any TV show that is set in New York City, you already know the kind of feel it gives. And Boroughsburg did depict that just intensely well. So I just will go with these coordinates here and use them for Boroughsburg. And with that, we're done with Boroughsburg. And the last world we're going to look at in this episode is Appaloosa Plains, but not the original one from EA, but a save file. So here we are in Appaloosa Plains, and this is probably a world most of you will already know, because it is the one from the Pets expansion, and I think this is probably one of the more popular expansions. And as I said, this is a save file and not the original Appaloosa Plains. So like a few years ago, I played in Appaloosa Plains quite frequently because I like that world, but I do absolutely not remember how the houses looked originally, so I can't really tell the difference, but I have to admit, I quite like how the houses look. I already took a little overview of them, and they are all very nice and look realistic. They have the typical Sims 3 look, but look a lot more intricate than the standard EA houses do. Really nice. Ooh, with those basement windows here. This is very cool. And the attached garages. Ooh, that's nice. Like this lowered backyard here and a nice little place for your plants. Like very nice houses. These up here, there is like a mixture between some more modern builds with a pool and everything you really need. And right beside it is a more traditional house, also very beautiful. Like this house is also very cute. So even though I can't completely remember how, ooh, curved pool, nice, how Appaloosa Plains looked before, I think this is absolutely an improvement to the EA builds. So if you need an upgrade for your EA worlds, you just have to look up for some nice save files, and there are a lot of them out there. And this especially is really cute. The cat park with the pond that looks like a cat, and I think this is the same for the dog park. It also has a pond that looks like a dog. Very cute. Yeah, just very nice save file. For placing it on the map, I actually decided to put it into Kentucky, probably because there is not a lot of worlds yet that I put there. So I want to fill up this void. So I'm going to look into some places in Kentucky and see. Okay, there are not that many buildings, but a little castle here. Interesting. Cute. Ooh. So the architecture is very different, also some modern builds. So I think this is already quite a good fit. I'm going to look at some more places in that area. I think Lexington is probably a bit too big. Yeah, that's more of a city. Again, a lot of cars. But this looks like very farmlandish. Like also Appaloosa Plains is very much on the countryside. And especially as the main point, and especially as it is more centered around pets. Probably, oh no, there are some floods going on in Kentucky. That's bad. Yeah, as it is focused more on pets, especially the horses, I guess, and there needs to be a lot of farmhouses with places for horses. I think more of the center of the US is perfect for it. So I think I will just go with Richmond, the first one I looked at, and used those coordinates and put them into Appaloosa Plains, and I'm going to kick it up to a 3-star because it's quite nice. I like the houses. So this is a plus. And obviously it's fully populated like all of the EA worlds. I do not know if the Sims were also changed, like if these are the same Sims and they got a makeover, or they are completely different ones. Like maybe if you play a lot in Appaloosa Plains you could tell, but for me, I have absolutely no idea. Oh, this is the house we already looked at. But yeah. And oh, it didn't. Okay, the pond doesn't look like a dog. The pond does look like a bone. And it's not even a pond. But yeah. So yeah. And with that, we're done with this episode of GeoGuessr but in The Sims 3. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and also found some new cute worlds for your game and some new ideas how to use them. And as always, please tell me if you have any better idea for placing down these worlds. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you in the next episode. Bye!